Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be giving our thoughts on episode 3 of The Last of Us Being Woke. Want to go ahead and give my thoughts on wokeness. Alright, dudes, so I thought this would be a fun one to go ahead and do after some of your guys' recent comments in the last review for episode 3 of The Last of Us. So in The Last of Us episode 3, if you didn't catch it, we get to see a episode focus on a homosexual couple and kind of their life through the, fungus apocalypse in Last of Us. And I have really enjoyed Last of Us so far. I think it's been great, off to a great start. Episode 3 might be the weakest of the 3 episodes, but I still enjoyed it. Now, I went ahead and looked up, with respect to the video game, the character Bill and Frank, who are in a relationship in episode 3. And it looks like from the video game, it was the same. So even though we're seeing a lot of what you could call wokeness or woke, agenda, I guess people are calling it, in so many different properties. It's so pervasive in media, entertainment, movies, TV shows, streaming series, even video games. This one goes back, though. This goes back to like 2013 or so when the game was released. So this one is actually not, in Last of Us anyway, by itself, it's being faithful to the game as far as that goes. So it's not actually forced wokeness. Now, that being said, there certainly is a lot of pervasive wokeness in media, in different TV series and such, movies and everything. So, especially the last couple of years. I feel like since 2020, it's just dialed up to kind of unbelievable, unfathomable levels in terms of, what you're seeing in terms of representation, right? You have a viewing audience. Okay, you're made up of, a variety of different people, and you have percentages in that audience of people. If it's a streaming series, if it's done in the U.S., whatever, you should probably use that as your base pool to, compare to, of the characters that you have in said series or video game or comic book or movie or whatever, and the people that are actually, your customers that are actually watching said series, watching said property, or buying such video game. So, as such, you're going to have some representation. I don't think that, having a couple characters here or there is a big deal or anything. That's totally fine. Has it dialed up to the point where it's over-representation the last few years? Yeah, definitely. I've also been kind of disappointed to see, just in media in general, and you can see why the entertainment industry the last couple of years has been having such a tough time. My movie theater here, local to me in the city I live in, is actually closing down. It's been open for about 25 years, and big theater, beautiful, awesome theater, everything. They're just closing up shop now. It's going out of business. And some of that's got to be lockdowns, got to be the world situation, people, whether or not they want to go to the movies after. But I can't help but think, but a lot of it also has to do with just the pervasiveness of wokeness. The saying, get woke, go broke. You have it with Disney, the situation with them. Netflix stock has been down quite a bit. It's starting to come back now, and I'm sure Netflix will do okay. But yeah, it's very pervasive. It's all over the place. People calling it out. That's fine, is what it is. I haven't really given my thoughts on it too much, but I'll say basically this: that I see it as part of communism, wokeness. I see it as part of a global push towards a communistic type of state. So if you're going to bring in terms of culture, if you're going to bring in a communistic system and some of the lessons that were learned in the Bolshevik Revolution, the term racist, for example, white superiority, these terms were brought about during the Bolshevik Revolution. And basically, here's the idea. Okay, so if you're coming into a country, or you're coming into, a group, or you're coming into a country where you have a mixture of different groups in said country, but you have a majority group. So you have kind of one group in terms of number that is your majority number. What percent? I don't know. Maybe let's say 50%, and then the other 50% is mixed of other different groups. What you kind of want to do is you kind of want to isolate and figure out which group out of the people in the audience could be of the most resistance in terms of what you're wanting to push through. So if you have a goal you're trying to push through, and you're going into, let's say, United States. You're going to the United States. You know that you kind of have the groups mapped out. You understand which group is which and what it is, whether it's based on ethnicity, whether it's based on gender, whether it's based on sexual orientation, LGBTQ, and all this stuff, heterosexuality, right? I guess the idea with communism is sort of to set up what you can think of as an off position. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into a system, you're going to evaluate the different groups in the system. You're going to figure out which group it could potentially cause the most resistance to you. So you're going to want to figure out, okay, 100%, what percentage are we at? 50%, okay, so this group is 50%. Are they the most disagreeable? Are they agreeable? Is this the group that's going to give us shit? Is this the group that's going to give us a hard time? Or might it be that group or that group or that group or that group? So you're going to figure out all the different groups. You're going to say, is it going to be the women that are going to give us shit and give us a hard time, or is it going to be the men? Oh, men are more disagreeable by nature. It's going to be the men. As far as the washing is concerned in media and culture, we can wash the women pretty good. They usually will buy it because they want to smooth the waters with their agreeableness, right? Which is built in. Now, obviously, when I'm speaking in general statistics, right? General consideration of the differences to start with gender. We'll start with that, okay? So, and we'll get into the other subsections of some groups afterwards. So, in terms of gender, males are the pain in the ass. It's all there is to it, right? For systems, right? If you're going to come into a system, you want to change, you want to update it, you're going to get resistance. You're going to get it from the males. You're not going to be getting it from the women, from the females, very much, as much. You get a little bit, maybe, but not that much. Okay. You're probably not going to get it from those that are, as far as LGBTQ stuff goes, they're obviously not the majority. Heterosexual people are the majority. So you kind of want to maybe spotlight the minority position. So you've got female, male, right? The males are going to give you shit, so you're going to demonize the males to start with. Okay, LGBTQ, you're going to bring that in order to, give that group a spotlight, give them some attention and whatnot, but also to offset and not pay attention to the, your standard or your general heterosexual people or heterosexual couples. Now you're going to get into ethnicity, right? You're going to go to ethnicity. You're going to go, which group is going to give us, as far as communism is concerned, which group is going to give us shit? Well, as far as the blacks are concerned, maybe a little bit, but they tend to kind of burn down their local cities and do stuff like that. They tend to not organize very well. They tend to sort of, they're limited in number. What are they, 10% in the U.S., right, of the population? 10%. They don't have the numbers. But the 50% group, which is your ethnic, Aryan or Caucasian people, those are the people that when you're coming into a system, just like in the Soviet system, just like in the Bolshevik Revolution for communism there, similarly here, that's your majority population, particularly the males are the ones that you're going to want to be concerned about. So if you're going to do a new He-Man series, that's fine, but we're going to kill He-Man twice in the first season. That's what we're going to do. Netflix, whatever. He-Man's got to go. We don't want this Aryan badass dude with big muscles and swinging a sword, being like he's gonna come in here and stop Skeletor and right the wrongs and do all the stuff, right? So this is basically what you're looking to do. You're looking to demonize the majority disagreeable group that could potentially cause you the most resistance in what you're looking to do. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be highlighting the groups, minority groups, they're less, so you're going to highlight the minority groups, and you're going to nullify or dim out the majority position, because the majority position is the one that could potentially cause the interference and cause the resistance as to what you're trying to do. So you're basically going to kind of remove them from media. You're going to kind of remove them from culture because you would not want them radicalizing, organizing, and doing everything like that. You're going to do everything in your power to individualize and not allow them to group together. You can come up with buzzwords and keywords to basically neuro-linguistic program and take the power away from the majority group. So you can use words like supremacy. You can say that if the group goes to do something or says something, you say, wait, you're not a supremacist, are you? How dare you have an opinion? You're not a supremacist. Oh, no, of course I'm not, whatever. So you're going to have buzzwords and keywords to be able to use against the majority group to disempower them, like the term racist, for example. Racist was actually developed during the Bolshevik Revolution. Anti-Semitism, right? Words like this where you can use those words on the majority position in order to disempower them using the media and education system to teach people that if somebody of a certain group says something about somebody of a different group or behaves in a certain way, you can go ahead and use these terms against them to basically disempower them, take their power away from them, and stop them from, getting in your way, right? So you're going to highlight, spotlight the groups and promote as well the groups that are going to be agreeable with you, and maybe even wash them to think that the majority group is after them. You're going to wash them to make them think that they're being oppressed by the majority group as an off position for you while you're going and doing your stuff, so the majority group and the off position can kind of bang off each other, and you can have, riots or ask for equality or do whatever you're doing. So the majority position is too busy dealing with these created dynamics while you go ahead and go through and achieve what you want to achieve. So I see wokeness in the culture and in the media as simply a byproduct of communism, of demonizing and removing from the spotlight the majority group in order to highlight the groups with lesser number, in order to kind of nullify that majority group while you're doing what it is you want, while you're getting through what it is you want to get through, while you're achieving what it is you want to achieve. So that's kind of my take on wokeness. It gets communicated out through intelligence services that are, a lot of them are, are connected with, different entertainment companies, media companies. When they're producing, for example, they're producing the big Hollywood blockbusters. A lot of times they will use, if you're going Avengers or something like this, they'll use U.S. military, vehicles and things like this. They'll get those set up for them. They'll have deals. Hollywood will have the deals with the military so they can rent some of the stuff for some of their, movies and such. You got lobbyist groups that go around and insist for this. So it's about invigorating, and it's about lighting up minority positions, just even based on number, in order to nullify majority positions so there isn't some kind of resistance back against what you're doing. So that's my take on it. So to be in terms of emotion, I don't really care, in terms of what they if they do that in media or they don't. Is it annoying sometimes? Maybe a little bit, yeah. But I think it's important to keep the bigger picture in mind of what's really being done here and why. So long story short, it's to demonize the majority so they don't get in your way. That's it. So it's about an off position. It's about creating heat between different groups so that they're too busy fighting amongst themselves to get in your way of what you're trying to do, which is really what? Global communism at this point? I think that's kind of the idea, right? Eventually. So that's it for the video. Subscribe at the bottom. Thumb up the video. I'll see you guys again soon for another Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.